Hello you beautiful people and welcome back to another Hiker Plays video. Today we are going to be talking about Ultra Instinct Goku. So, if we go into Soldier and jump into the Almanac, you should be able to get right to Goku. And he looks fantastic, doesn't he, aesthetically? But unfortunately, boys, his stats, not so great. So, you'll notice a lot of people are going to have him quite low down on a tier list. And the reasoning for that is because what he brings to the team just isn't quite on the level of some of the units that we have in the game. On top of that, we're looking at a very steep price to even get a single copy of him. So looking at his first skill, he's going to charge up a massive amount of ki and blast someone for 500% of magic damage. That's going to attack all nearby enemies, so it is in an AoE, and heal for 30%. Now, this does make him quite, sustainable in his own way, but in reality, when you look at how much damage that actually is, it's really not a lot. Someone like Broly, Zamasu, they're going to be hitting harder than that. So, think about it that way. You've got a damage dealer that doesn't even compare to some of the other weakest so-called damage dealers. And when you factor in something like price, he's not looking great. Now, you can pick him up if you really, really like the idea of having an Ultra Instinct Goku, by all means. But, his kit isn't there as a damage dealer, so you're probably going to say, right, does he fit in the support category? So he will transfer debuffs to random enemies, which is quite cool. So if he's got any negative debuffs on him, typically he'll transfer that, but you shouldn't really have too many negative debuffs on you, because you'll have things like Whis cleansing you the whole way through. And then when you do finally awaken him, so when casting, transfers all debuffs to enemies. After each cast, skill damage then upped by 12%, increasing up to 60%, which is quite nice. That's actually a really nice part of his ability. His second skill is more magic damage, and it is to, that's meant to be NOE if I'm not wrong. It's a small area. And for each enemy it hits, he is going to then heal himself for another 100% of his attack. So, again, very self-sustaining, really cool. And he does remove buffs from the enemy, so he will, slowly start stripping the enemy off their buffs. Again, really useful, but again, feels more like a support than a big damage dealer. And then your last thing is Ultra Instinct. So it's going to reduce the healing received by self. Reduce the heal received by self and nearby allies by 80%, lasts for 12 seconds, and in the next 12 seconds, gain temporary passive effect, recover rage 80 rage each time. Bearing in mind, I know it doesn't look like so, but Gogeta does 90 rage every 3 seconds. His rage is not that insane. His rage gain is not that insane. And also, if I'm not wrong, the rage gain is only for himself. So reduced by self and nearby allies 8%. And in the next 12 seconds, gain temporary passive effect, recover rage. So when healed, maximum trigger. So I think that is just himself. I don't know if he spreads that to everyone. So really, really important to note that. And also, losing some of your health regen is not great. I know he's got a lot of healing abilities, but it's not great. So, where does he... I guess the question a lot of people can ask is, where does he actually sit in terms of... Right, PvP, we all agree he's not going to be good. We don't like him in PvP. Broly's going to absolutely destroy him. So, where does he actually sit? Well, if you want him, and you definitely want to use him in some content, he is phenomenal at... not King Kai's planet, Sacred Land of Korin. He is actually a beast in this, especially the solo mode. When you're in solo mode, he can single-handedly carry you through all of this. Because of how much healing he's got in his kit, he does do good enough damage to be clearing mobs. He is really, really solid. Another place he is quite good is if you come into Arena and then to the Champ Road. He does pretty well in here. Again, the stripping of debuffs and, spreading some of those debuffs back. And the fact that he is quite resilient makes him really solid in this. But outside of those two bits of the game, and most people are more focused on PvP, unfortunately, he isn't very good. Now, for those of you who still want him, what is the best way to get him? And I am going to explain the best way to get him. So you'll come into Shenron Recruit. You'll see that we've already got some of these tokens. You can get more tokens by buying the pack. You're going to get 25 tokens for buying this pack here, and you're going to get a bunch of other resources. So this is quite worth it. Unfortunately, that doesn't quite get you to the point where you need to be able to get Goku. So if you come into Recruit Boost, you can see you're guaranteed to get Goku on 80 recruits. So once you hit 80 recruits, and this is a one-time only thing, so during the event cycle, you can only trigger this once. You will do 80 spins. You won't hit Goku because I'm going to be real with you. The actual percentage on hitting Goku is very, very low, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit him. So you are going to hit him through this pity counter and then pick him up that way. Then what I would do is I would save the remaining whatever you have and wait. I think it's 2 weeks. So this event shows up every 2 weeks. I would then, in 2 weeks come again and do another 80. So that's the way I would be picking up Goku. I would do 80 at a time, and that's how I would get him. Of course, if you're, if you want to spend thousands, you're more than welcome to just keep spinning. But in reality, you're probably not going to hit him. Now, the best way to do this is if you've bought the pack previously, you should be on about 25. And over the course of, now and when you first started, you probably should have saved up about another 20-ish. So you should be good to just buy the 328 pack here. And that will give you the extra 40 spins that you need. You could always go buy this for, for 600, and that would give you all 80 in one go. And remember, every single time you top up for these Jades, every 50 Jades is one spin, so also worth noting that there. So he's not like the most expensive unit in the world, but you are looking to spend $50 to $100 every single time he shows up, just so you can, pull for him once. So that's how you would get him. I don't think he's worth it. There are other Chaos units coming. If we look into Portrait, there's a bunch of characters locked up like Vardos, like Baby, and most definitely like Jiren. I'm going to assume Jiren is going to be our next Chaos unit. So it might be worth saving the tokens for when Jiren comes out and then, going crazy on it then. So for now, just hold on to them. They don't expire. These literally don't expire. They'll be in your inventory for when Jiren eventually comes out, and you could just use it then. And he'll be a much, much, much better unit. But that is my 2 cents on it. I just wanted to address some of the questions around Ultra Instinct Goku. I hope you found this interesting, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.